Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity to practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, now welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Colin St. Brooks, and basically, this is a nice celebration episode. We did it. I made it past the 2,000 plays mark, and we have to congratulate ourselves, thanks to those who have listened, thanks to those who have listened. And that extra 1,000, it took a year and less than a month. But we did it, and I have to really think about it and said it, and who would have thought that I reached this far, coming from a person that really usually talks, funny enough, I realize that I have a lot to say when I'm, I have a lot to say, and what it also does is it helps you in some way, because if what I've realized is at least one of you guys keeps coming back, so it must be helping you in some way. I at least get at least one plays from every episode, so each episode must be helping you guys in some way. Maybe giving me a laugh, maybe give it some info. Or maybe you come to hear my voice and be like, yo, this guy can't talk at all, But I'm just so attracted to his voice, It just, yeah, man. So, if that's you, congratulate yourself as well. And we have, with this 2,000 plays, we have also passed our 200 episodes mark. This will be our 202nd episode, if I correct. I'm not sure, but it's supposed to. So, we have come a far away, and you might can see from the episodes where, if you compare from my first episode, we have come a far away. And this podcast is like a manual for you as well that listens, so you can see the journey. And you can take something from the journey, because one of the most important things that I can impart on you that may help you, if I tell you something that basically saves you, let's say, $100, if I make you to think about making a purchase that costs you $100, a very good purchase that you don't have to spend the next day, and that purchase serve you for a good amount of months, and you use that purchase to upgrade your life and such like that, that's a win, because I would have basically helped you decrease your debt status, and maybe help you move you to somewhere. So basically, this podcast is just all the things that I've learned up until now. And basically what you do is you just listen. Maybe you find one thing that can help you. I know the next thing, not even money. Sometimes one of the things that I teach you, that you may save you a lot of time. So it's some of these things that I may spend like a couple episodes telling you what to do. You might say, oh, that's what, like a few episodes later, you'll see the end. So you see me go through the process, and then at the end you realize, oh, okay, so if I actually just did this the first time, I would have basically skipped a couple episodes of struggles that he went through. And I said, boom, so that's the next thing, where that's the benefit of the podcast for you as well. So you don't have to really thank you guys for tuning in. I'm still waiting for that first. You know what? Even though I like it, but part of me wouldn't. I want you realize about me. While I talk a lot on this podcast, I really like to talk. I'm a really quiet person in real life. I just chill, like to do what I like to do, and I don't really like to talk a lot because it takes a lot of energy. It's a really energy draining process. So this podcast is basically all these things, all the things that are in my head that I would ideally like to tell you, so you can move on with your life and get better. But maybe I'm too lazy or too frustrated to actually tell you, because maybe if I told you these things in real time, in real person, you basically out there questioning my judgment and saying, okay, you know, saying why I need to do this and that. So basically this podcast is just me coming and say, okay, I told you these things, and I'm practicing what I preach for the most part. So when you listen to an episode and you hear me say I did this, it's more or less just me talking from experience. So so maybe you can have your opinions and whatnot, but I pass through that. So then you can say, okay, then I can take then I can have you can take what you want from it. And the thing about it, that all the episodes are archived, so you can go back and listen to an episode from previous time. And so that's really the good thing about this podcast. It just come here, chill, talk about some stuff that I have on my mind. You will listen, you will find something that's good, works for you, or something that entertains you, and we just chill. We just chill. Yeah. So, damn. Thank you for the 2,000 plays. More things coming, God's willing, and just keep cool. Thank you for listening, and look forward for our next episode. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter @ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
We have mentioned this before a few times throughout the podcast and such like that. And I'm on my weight loss journey and such like that. So we have mentioned it a lot, but I have to talk about it again. Something that I've realized when. So we're talking about going to the gym. The next thing I want to talk about is the overall. When I realized the overall topic I want to talk about is following trends. Because going to the gym, the gym is the best way to kind of explain the following trend saga, which I see, which I can say it's one of those things. Don't follow the trends, bro. Don't follow the trends. If it's right for you, maybe, but sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it's not worth it. But what I realize is the new in thing now